we lost Danny. We lost Danny.
Wow.
We lost Danny.
Wow.
But I think his family was sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, Danny's back. All right.
So we got all 6 of us now. Good. This is a full round table right here. Congratulations.
This is it.
This is a full round table, straight up.
This is it. But yeah, it's something, man.
This is a full round table right here. All right, I might last another 35, 40 minutes. I'm not making no
So Trey, with everything that's going on, when do you broadcast?
Normally I've been broadcasting on Mondays for Feel Good Mondays. I was on to break the story about what's going on in Washington D.C. However, I guess something wrong with my phone, so I had to call my provider, and I couldn't even do my broadcast that I wanted to. So instead, I put my videos on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Hey, I do want to say, Tiffany Jackson says, due to the violence of so many of our people have endured at the hands of the police, many of us are terrified when we're pulled over for anything.
That's fact.
Tiffany, yeah. I'm telling you, Tiffany, I was with my wife, and I'm sitting here like, okay, how is this going to play out? Because I'm playing this whole thing out in my head. And I'm like, all right.
That's facts. And if you're not scared, your family's scared.
That's true.
That's the whole thing right there, based on how they portraying everything and how they advertising killing us. I'm gonna say that shit again. They advertising killing us. I got a problem with that. What the hell we got a court case for? Guilty or not guilty? If a man put his hands on a woman, y'all ain't even gonna have no damn trial. It's already over. Look at how they did Ray Rice. But ain't nobody say shit to Solange. I said it. Am I lying?
It's not the same thing.
It's not?
Same. No, it's not.
You're right, because Solange kept hitting him and they ain't put it in court. But Ray Rice lost his whole career.
But this is
he lost his whole career, man.
He lost his whole career. What's up, Abyss?
Well, yeah, but again.
What's good, Abyss?
Abyss, what's going on?
And I say that on purpose because, like I said, Ray hit him one time, okay, fine. You see how Solange was wailing on Jay-Z? I don't care how much money he got.
But at the
talk to me. You know what? I ain't even gonna lie to you. Talk to me about
at the most, Solange weighs what, 105 pounds, and as someone who's been hit by women before,
me too.
It's wholly, annoying. It's not even unpleasant. It's just annoying.
Hold on. I'm sorry. That was excellent the way you said that. It was annoying. That is excellent the way you said that.
It's a totally different beast when a guy hits you. And then Ray Rice was a working athlete at the height of his career, at the height of his youth.
That's fair.
So I mean, yeah. So it's not the same animal. But I do think women get away with straight murder. There's always been Karening. Karening killed Emmett Till, for God's sakes, right? And there's always been just kind of like,
wait now, and he ain't even touch her.
Yeah, no, it was a complete and utter fallacy of what transpired, and it killed a 13-year-old boy. So, it is what it is.
Hey, Omega Dread said George Floyd didn't deserve the death based on the vengeance, but when you're on drugs, you're absolutely a danger to yourself.
And let me say this too, bro. No apology, no disrespect, but no nonsense.
It depends on the nonsense and the person. And the state of the person before anybody's a danger to themselves. Just because you're on something doesn't mean you're a danger to anybody, much less yourself.
That's true. What No Nonsense said, she wants to keep her hands to herself because she don't want to get hit. It's not about you getting hit, but I would tell you thank you for keeping your hands to yourself. Most of our sisters don't.
No, just keep your hands to yourself. But every woman should know how to defend herself. It's a different animal. Don't hit a guy, but know how to knock a motherfucker out.
Facts, Ray.
That's it right there.
The facts.
That's it right there.
Go ahead, Danny.
Oh no, I was just gonna read something here on CNN. It said defense attorney is now not concentrating. I think prosecution, one or the other, are not concentrating on Chauvin's actions, saying that the actions are not going to be relative for the prosecution or something to that effect. Basically saying like his actions shouldn't be admitted or something that shouldn't be concentrated for the court case. I'm like, are you kidding me? That's essentially what the court case is all about, is what he did.
All right.
Exactly.
Hey,
All right, sorry
information
about
man.
that. I had got a phone call, so that's why I was kind of like absent from the discussion. So, I want to say peace to the Bay Area. We got a brother
Oh,
from the
dude.
Bay Area in the chat room as well,
Dude,
and
the
he
love.
was saying that all the good folks that then came in. We got my man Court TV. That's my man Logic, real deep brother, and peace to everybody out there. But Lions Den, I see you up here, man. What's going on?
What's good, Info?
I'm surprised to see you, man, because I know you be working them those late night hours.
Wow, yeah. I'm glad everybody invited me in because I'm enjoying this. This is pretty awesome.
Yes, indeed.
Hey, I do want to say this. Info, your man Court TV says George Floyd is the wrong face for this movement.
Who the fuck are you to tell who's the right face for somebody's movement? I'm sorry.
I'm shaking my head, yo. That is.
I love.
I'm
Well,
sorry.
I love
I
the
would say
passion.
I would say that
rephrase that.
I would say this.
Why? No, I'm gonna go with what I originally said. Who are you to say who? Look, since about the mid '70s, white politicians have been picking black heroes in black society. So you might want to watch that. And now they're telling you who you should lose your shit over when they get killed. My last few years on Facebook, I was perpetually defending Kanye West because they were always talking about canceling him, something about him and Taylor Swift, and then him and somebody else. And I was like, he's the guy you're going to cancel? All these other people are talking about guns and drugs and murder in their own neighborhood. I've never heard Kanye West go in like that. Why? And there's a reason for it. And to this day, this society has this issue with Kanye West. And I think it's because
Kanye West,
George Bush don't like black people. And it goes back to that. And the people in charge, the people in power, if this was Russia or Iran or somewhere else, we would be done with Kanye, right? But I think this is why this society has its scores off him. Kanye West is I said it before and I'll say it again. Kanye West is a fucking genius.
Anytime a man tells you that black people wanted to be slaves, and a man who I think his mother taught African American studies, so he should know better than that because there were hundreds and hundreds of slave revolts all across this country during the time of that period, and there were slave revolts on the ship. So anytime a black man or anybody says that, that ain't intelligence to me. That's stupidity to me, my brother.
Okay,
I'm sorry. I gotta tell the truth on that one.
All right. Okay.
Because that's not a genius. Now he might be a genius when it comes to his music, but he hasn't shown genius when it comes to social issues like that.
I got my own out for what you just said. I said Kanye West is a fucking genius. I didn't say he was a political astute observer of society. The media says that, and then they point.
Tony D, thank you, man.
Ask him his opinion.
Thank you, Tony. Much love, man.
We'll catch up, man. Definitely. I got to jump on the broadcast real quick.
Tony D, you got to jump off, brother. You jumping off?
Yeah, I'm gonna go jump over to Izzy real quick for a little bit before I go to bed. But I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. We're gonna do this again tomorrow. Everybody stand by tomorrow afternoon, most definitely. All right.
Definitely.
I just think maybe, he's a genius with his music and all of that, but all of his behavior.
You ask him about politics, and I asked him about medicine.
Well,
they set these traps, and your arrogance gets you to walk into them, and then people buy in.
But true. Hold on, let him speak. True, let him speak.
But True, let me ask you this question, True. Why in today's time are we looking to entertainers and rappers and all these kind of folks to be the spokespersons for the black community? There was a time when these kind of folks weren't our spokespersons.
No one's looking to entertainers.
But that's how.
Do anything.
But that's how.
The media is giving you these people, like I said 5 minutes ago. You don't pick your heroes anymore. The media told you, and they give you your distractions too. And Kanye West is one of them. Kanye West, I think, is a a once in a 50-year type of person.
Mhm.
That don't mean I want him talking about my politics. And the people who don't, who are happy to send you off down these tangents, down these rabbit holes, by telling you Kanye West said this about Taylor Swift, and he said this about da da da, and you go, oh, now all of a sudden you're following the soap opera that they wrote for you. I'm only concerned about the problem and how to fix the fucking problem.
You're making him relevant. Right.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think that the reason why I made that criticism is because I think that what happens is
the media wants you to do it, you should take pause and go, why does the media want me to hate this person?
No, it's not. No, listen to what I'm saying, True. It's not about me hating him or anybody. It's just about saying that Kanye West isn't. I get it, but Kanye West, when it comes to certain subject matters, when every time it's a subject matter like the one that I just mentioned that he said that was kind of silly, ridiculous.
Yeah.
When he's asked those kind of questions, he says things that are reckless.
The pop singer,
and what happens is
global interactions wrong.
Right.
I don't know when I asked Taylor Swift any of this shit. You know?
Right, but because they know the media knows exactly who to go to for the bait and switch. They know exactly who they can talk to that will set it off.
Because you're obsessed with it. Look, listen.
I'm not obsessed with anything.
and I may be a little weird, but this is where I function.
He said I'm obsessed.
If I'm walking down the
man, I'm gonna laugh.
And I'm bouncing to. I don't listen to Jay-Z. If he's on the radio, he plays. I don't buy his stuff. I'm not going to see him. And I go to see a lot of concerts. I don't like his message because I grew out of it. It was fine for me when I was 25, right? But you see George Floyd and I'm about to say Emmett Till and Yusuf Hawkins. But you remember Yusuf Hawkins, Biz. But you see George Floyd and Tamir Rice and all these things, you just kind of go, okay, I want better in the community. And then you realize who made the community bad, and then you begin to judge them for it. On the other end of this, when the media comes to me and goes, you should be outraged at fucking Kanye West, I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Kanye West is not my problem. My problem is all these cats rapping about selling drugs and fuck black women and guns and all this shit. That's my problem. So I think you want me to be outraged at this thing. I'm not doing that. I think anybody
that says something, especially someone that's of our race, that has a strong influence, not only nationally, but internationally, that says something reckless.
Yeah, they can be wrong.
Let's hear me out, True. Someone who has his kind of platform, when he says something, it rings a different bell. It has a different stroke to it and a different power to it than someone like myself who doesn't have that type of reach and influence as he has. Yeah, so that's why I said that I'm not making it a focus of my whole life. But what I'm saying is people like him and others like him who have those platforms and say things, it can be very dangerous and reckless because of the influence that they can have over many people. When this is part of the misunderstanding. When he says that, he's fucking up history because what he said is not true in history. Okay. That's the fact. And we got kids that look up to him, man.
All right. I'm agreeing with you. But here's the thing. You're going in like he's a scholar leading people off the wrong path. And I'm going in like, why would the media barons and these conglomerates ask him this question in the first place? And then not ask Jay-Z, who's completely talking about racist bullshit, because there's a game behind it. I'm refusing to give them any attention to the game. I'm looking at, so I think, like I said, Kanye West's music is great. We all agree. He came out 10 years after Jay-Z. Jay-Z discovered him, made $2 billion twice as fast, right? Just all this, he taps in like Marvin Gaye tapped in. Having said that, don't want Marvin Gaye telling me about, well, actually, Marvin Gaye, I'll give Marvin Gaye some room on some of this. But I wouldn't want him telling me about something that I'm pretty sure he knew nothing about.
But the difference,
or liquidity or any of this.
True.
And this is the thing. They give you something to be angry about. And people are happy to be angry about Kanye West. I'm not agreeing with everything.
Let me just say this, True.
Yeah.
when you look at black entertainers like Ahara Belafonte or some of the black folks from way back when, they actually
way
went
back?
through
How far way
racism.
back?
They
How
actually
far way back?
what
Because you have to
I'm
remember
naming.
people.
True, let me finish my point, sir.
Let him
Please.
talk. Let him talk. Let him talk.
I named one person, Harry Belafonte, because he was involved in protest and what have you. Maybe someone like a Dick Gregory. You had black
Harry
folks that were
Belafonte,
quote unquote
right.
that were celebrities like a
Early
Muhammad
70s.
Ali,
Right.
who went back a little bit, and even the 70s, 60s, and 50s, who sometimes would speak out about issues that were happening to us. And guess what? When they were speaking out, they were 100% on point. You know why? Because they were experiencing that racism. They were experiencing having to go through the back of the damn bus or the back of the damn hotel, right? Like Sammy Davis Jr., right?
Right.
So when they would speak out on stuff, you could feel what they were saying. They knew what the hell they were talking about. They had experience. A Kanye West, when he speaks out, or someone like him, he don't know what the hell he talking about. He ain't experiencing it. And he's not experiencing the understanding of history and saying that black people wanted to be
Right.
slaves and all that kind of nonsense. That's
Right.
nonsense. And it also when you look at somebody like James Baldwin, who was also a pretty famous cat who wrote about these sort of stuff, it disrespects our past. It disrespects
Yes.
the
Agreed.
celebrities who were on point that came before him. They go to Kanye West because they know Kanye West is a buffoon. They're not gonna go talk to somebody in the celebrity world that's on point, that's got their knowledge on point, because they're gonna get a real statement. They go to their buffoons and their court jesters, man. I'll stop right there.
First of all, they're not going to anybody. Who's on point? Who are they going to go to? They're uninterested in going to anybody who's on point on anything.
That's you just made my point. So they go to the clowns like him.
If Kanye West has a mental illness like Britney Spears has a mental illness, why are you talking to him about this shit? You see what I'm saying? Meanwhile, Oprah's out here telling you, okay, let's not talk about Kanye
a woman
West.
who's never married, a woman who doesn't have kids, but she knows everything about family.
Right.
Yeah.
So wait, Trey.
Hey, True.
Trey.
I want to ask you a question.
I want you to get I want you to get in on this.
Hey, True, I want to ask you a question. You talk about Kanye West. Okay.
I'm going to be interrogated tonight.
Why did Kanye West?
We bring the heat. We're gonna bring the heat.
Let me say this. Why did Kanye West say, and I quote?
No, first of all, I'm gonna stop you right there. I don't know why anybody says anything.
He did say slavery was a choice, right?
I don't know why anybody. You said why did he say that? I don't know why anybody says anything. And I've already said you should be asking Kanye West anything outside of his purview.
Mm-hmm.
And you ask him that is a tactic designed for, in my opinion, nefarious reasons, right? So you could ask him, you could ask the same shit to Machine Gun Kelly. No one's asking him about fucking why black people can't get a cab in New York. Why don't you go ask him that? At least see what he says.
They ask Kanye West because they know Kanye West is going to make a minstrel show out of it, and that it will get to the mass media, and they know that we as black people were going to respond to it emotionally. I get where you're coming from, True. No, but it is deeper than that, but that's a part of it. They know that it's going to trigger our behavior. So, they know that Kanye West is going to do something goofy.
Why Kanye and not no one else?
Because they know that Kanye West will take the bait and he'll eat it like a rat eating cheese, and he'll jump on it.
Will take the bait. Not everybody's a smooth tactician with the media. I mean,
right? But why is it that there's only a small number of people, True, who they go to?
There's a thing about Kanye West that the media has, and it goes back to that George Bush don't like black people thing on that international charity thing. Right, it goes back to that. It's
but it didn't hurt his career, True.
Jack Johnson snubbed his nose at the government and dated white women in 1908. They came after him. It's like it's the same energy. It's what's the guy who played for the the Raiders?
No.
And they
them coming at Kanye. Wait a minute. I know the history of Jack Johnson damn well. They
Right.
actually drove Jack Johnson to have to leave the country. He couldn't even see his mother when she died. Nobody's
Yes, I know.
driven Kanye West out of the
No,
country.
no, no, no. Okay.
Oh, it's not the same, sir. No,
I'm
it's
saying
not the same.
activating ill will against somebody is different
Time
then
out.
than it is now.
Time out. Time out. Time out.
Let me have some more of my Mike's drink.
But wait, I just want to say this is the Information Man and Friends show tonight, featuring True and Trey.
AKA
Y'all
Lion.
something else, man. Well, why are we talking about Kanye West? Let's talk about something that's fresh in the news, man.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
old, man. That's dragging the old dust in.
But Info Man, I need you to do me one favor.
Yes, sir.
Can I get one? Tell the truth.
Oh yeah. Here we go. Yeah. I know you like that. Here we go.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Yo, I don't know if you see me sometimes typing in your show. I'll be like, tell the
Tell the
truth.
truth.
True. Tell the truth.
Tell the
Tell the
truth. I'm
Man,
telling
let's talk
you.
about something fresh.
I was going to say
In
we
the
should be
news.
like a few good men. You can't handle the truth.
Oh,
Right.
Tell the truth.
oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. Well, I tell you this much true. When your show does debut, I know a few people on this panel that are going to be there.
I know I will be. I want to hear what he gonna say.
We are going to be there with bells on. Oh my goodness. This was something tonight, man. This was something.
What's going on? We got the guy from Texas, no nonsense, Rob
Oh.
Allbanks, 12 Veils in the house, Omega Dreads Gaming in the house, my man Cat BY2 in the house, Greg Harris, the real Aaron Collins, a lot of great folks.
Yeah, man. It's you got a rabid following. I didn't, you know what? I always attend your show through Haps. And I think there was like one time I attended your show through YouTube and I was like, wait a minute, this is a little bit different.
Yeah, it's a whole different experience.
Yeah,
That's what I was trying to tell you. It's a whole different experience.
it really is.
Right. Hey, but I mean, I appreciate it, all of you, the support, the kind words.
Oh,
I
come on,
appreciate the Discord, even if me and True may disagree on a few things, but that's what makes life worth living.
I told
We
you
don't
that's
want everybody
passion
running
bucket.
around thinking the same.
That's the passion bucket right there.
It's okay.
It's like
it's okay to agree. To
give you guys a
disagree,
topic and just I take the ball as a referee and throw it up in the air and just move out the way.
And but wait a minute. What's your let me throw this. What's your thought about the situation that happened today? It looks like that was a black guy that did that, huh?
Yes, because
we ran through this.
Oh,
we
okay, y'all
ran
talked
into
about
it.
it.
My thoughts on the guy is that everybody was thinking before this happened that he was
well,
under white national or something like this, and I myself was thinking it's probably like some knucklehead holdover from like January 6th or something. And it turns out, and mind you, I can base this on nothing else other than history of like scenarios like this. And it looks like he's, like I was telling Ted an hour ago or 2 hours ago or so, it looks like he's just broken guy who lost everything.
a lost soul.
Who kind of like lost hope. He kind of fucked with the Nation of Islam for like a hot minute. After his it all came apart, right? So he wasn't messing with the Nation of Islam like last year before the pandemic, right? He was talking about like chicks and twerking and all that good shit. Then all of a sudden, he loses his job, and then I guess as you struggle, you got to put your face somewhere when you get desperate. So he starts talking more about God and religion and stuff like this, while I guess someone in his head blaming Congress. I don't know. I mean,
Well, I
don't know.
think let me tell
But
you something.
it doesn't strike me as Al Qaeda or ISIS. It doesn't
No,
strike me as
what it
MAGA.
looks like,
It just strikes me as broken.
right? It looks like the brother has. When we talk about people having mental illness, they
Yes,
were
like a
saying that
break.
he had a delusion, or that he felt that the CIA or the FBI were spying on him. The government was spying on him. He was having some
Oh,
mental
is that what happened?
breakdowns, according to what the news was saying.
The government was
And
spying.
then,
Okay, that sounds
yeah.
about where.
So what they're saying
It
is
didn't
that
seem
he
like he wanted
probably,
to do it to change the nation or anything.
yeah, it looks like he was a lone wolf, as they would call it. He wasn't associated with any group. He was having some, looks like he was falling on some pretty bad times. He lost his job. This
Right.
is stuff that they found on the social media on his Facebook
Right.
page.
Right.
So it looks like he went there to
To vent.
put his anger out, and he ended up
Right.
running over 2 Capitol Police. And I think he killed one of them, and then he
Killed one
pulled
of
out
them.
a knife.
Yeah.
He pulled out a knife,
you
and then
know,
I think they
that right
shot
there
him.
tells you you're mentally ill.
Well,
But what I don't understand,
Pulled out
this is
a
what I got to
knife.
put on the table. Why
Uh-huh.
is it that you had the two mass shooters
yes.
who shot people up, and they're able to be alive
out.
and walk out of the place to the
Unscarred,
police precinct?
unscathed,
This guy,
unscathed.
okay, I give you that he ran over 2 cops, he killed one, and he injured another, and he pulled out a
Yeah.
knife. But the thing that I find interesting is that he walked away. He didn't walk away. He's dead. But the 2 mass shooters just recently, they walk away alive to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
I noticed that when it comes to, black
We all
men and our
noticed that.
interaction with the cops, we end up getting shot, whether armed or not.
Right.
And the white dudes, they can blow up a whole bunch of people, spray the whole place up, just like what happened with the guy who went into the movie theater in Colorado some years
Right.
ago with the
Right.
dressed
yeah,
in
the
black.
Joker.
They
Yeah.
found him in the car with
Batman.
weapons, and they walk off. And then Roof Diller, whatever that
Dylan
kid, Dylan
Dylan
Roof,
Roof.
he kills those black folks praying. He kills them, and he's able to walk off.
9 people.
And they even
Right.
said, "Hey, young man, do you want a Burger King? A Burger
Yeah.
King."
Yeah. 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 It's,
Tell the truth.
it's the stereotype when it came across our phones and everything else like that. Unfortunately, when you hear about an incident like this, you think it's a specific demographic,
Yeah.
and then
Because
we're all
that
shocked.
demographic has made this their well, I mean, I don't even know what to even say. It's their groove, right? I mean, when you hear mass shooting, I hate to say it, but you generally don't think Spanish kids, Black kids, Asian kids, Jewish kids. You think white, Anglo-Saxon, Protestants generally.
Right.
So
Just
the only
because
thing
so
I can
many
think
have
of
been.
is
Not
the only
you
thing
know.
I can think of is, and I said this to you earlier. I said somewhere down the line he was radicalized.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you're by yourself and it seems like he had
But radicalized to what? Most people think radicalized means to
whatever
Islam
his
and
mission
ISIS and
was,
Al-Qaeda.
whatever
Yeah.
he believed his mission
Well,
was.
Right.
Well,
Radicalized
Brother
to
Ted, he
hate
did
religion,
mention.
and also
Right. It didn't have
radicalized
to
to
be
believe
ISIS
in
or
non-belief.
Right. Right.
And
That
another
makes
example
sense.
of that is like the Texas Marathon bomber, who was also shot but still lived. That's another example.
Right.
Good point.
They did mention that he said that Minister Farrakhan, the Nation of Islam, helped save his life, I guess, at a time when he was going downhill.
Right.
But he didn't say. But what they found on the social media did not reflect that he was doing it in the name of the nation or
Okay.
Farrakhan,
Yeah.
because
He
the
was
media
just
may
all
want
over
to
the
twist it
place.
like that.
Right.
They simply
Yeah.
said that he was falling on hard times. He lost his job. He didn't have money. He was angry at the government, and he had this
About to be
thought that the
homeless.
government was after him.
Mm.
And then for whatever reason, it made him go through the barriers. So you know what this is going to happen, man. They're going to keep those barriers up probably for the rest of the year, or God
They're
knows
not
what.
going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere
Yeah.
for a long time, if ever.
Mm.
No. Look, remember, the Statue of Liberty is still shut down, and that's been shut down for like 25 years. You know,
Are you
And this
talking
is
about
about
the
their safety.
Statue of Liberty in New
Yeah,
York?
it's the idea. Yeah, it's the idea that once they shut something down, and they shut it down for
What's going on, Bernie?
for the terrorist attack in, I want to say, '93. So yeah, and then after that there was I want to say there was a shooting at Blair House with in '59, and then they shut that park down, which is the opposite park of the White House.
Mm-hmm.
And now, and in the '80s, if I remember correctly, they shut the thoroughfare down. So now you can't drive between the park and the White House. That little. So yeah, every time Congress gets scared and shaky, they shut something down. They close something off to you. So I mean, in the '40s and '50s, you could sit and walk up the stairs. After the civil rights marches with Dr. King, you can't go up the stairs. The last time I was in Washington D.C., there were Capitol patrolmen at the steps of the Capitol. You couldn't step on the stairs. I mean, well, the top 20 stairs you could like get your picture taken, but yeah, I mean, once and after this happened, I want to say at least 2 Congress people died of COVID after all those people rushed the walls. So yeah, those people are paranoid. Those things, the people want them down so they can walk around. Congress doesn't want them down, and we'll see what happens. I don't think they will come down anytime soon, especially after this incident with this car. I think it's going to be pedestrians only, and like the last time I was able to like lean against like the White House gate wall where
That's a good question,
the
Danny.
car comes out. I don't think you're going to be able to do that in like a year or two.
So Danny has a question. He says, do you think New York City should implement the same kind of security as in Washington, D.C. has with the Capitol building for a building like the UN?
Different city. And first of all, the UN has a ton of space if you've ever been to the UN. The UN, it sits on the East River bank, and the only thing behind it is water. And it's I'm about to say, I guess it's not American property. It's global security property. So, and like, if you walk past it, you're on camera, at least on like 40 cameras. And that's just you walking down the street. That place is secure. Like the UN has no issue. That place is secure. And the neighborhood next to it. What's the name of the next to it? There's the real question for you, Biz. The neighborhood opposite the UN is called. Yeah. Anyway, most of those guys live up there. Those places are safe. It's up in Manhattan to begin with. Yeah, and they're all dignitaries. And they're not all foreign dignitaries. A lot of them are American. So we'll see.
Hey, Info Man, what's going on with your governor out there? It's like he appeared as a darling on the national scale, and then it seems like things have changed a little bit from a national.
The reason why things are changing, what people don't understand about California politics is what's going on is that the Republicans are trying to they're trying to get control. They want to get back control of California. It happened. The same thing happened when we had Gray Davis. Gray Davis was a Democrat. It was Republicans who bankrolled the money to get him recalled, which allowed Schwarzenegger to get his ass in. And Schwarzenegger, I got a bone to pick with him because he hurt a lot of union workers really bad. He tried to impact the teachers union. He even tried to impact some of the peace officers union. He really did some things that I didn't appreciate. So what's happening is that this recall is something that's being created by Republicans who are bankrolling the money to get signatures to try to get him out. So this is really a Republican plot. This is not a Democrat plot. This isn't. This is more of a Republican plot to get him out. And if they can get enough signatures, then they can try to bring it back to a vote or what have you. Are all people happy with the man? No, because a lot of people are not happy with the fact that he put us on a lockdown and all this stuff that people thought was unnecessary. But I just have to put that on the record that this is mainly a Republican machine that's in play to try to get him out. It's almost like history repeating itself again when we had Gray Davis.
Yeah, because I remember that Gray Davis recall, and there was a porn star in it. There was like 30 people running. It was a zoo.
Right. What
I
happened
didn't
was
think
there was
they
this
still
very
want that again.
wealthy, there was a very wealthy Republican, I can't think of his name, who was the one who put up the money to first recall him.
Yeah,
Then when
who was
he
that?
got booted out,
Here's a trivial question for you. Who was that?
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember, sir. But what happened is that Republican who bankrolled the first recall, he didn't get in office, and this is how Schwarzenegger got in. Schwarzenegger basically rode his back into the
Right.
governorship
And his
because
name
he
changed.
opened the door. His name, and a lot. I got to be honest with you. A lot of even Democratic people voted for him, and the reason why people voted for him like they did, not only because of his celebrity, but they thought because of who he was married to, that because she was liberal, that he would be more. He would be more of a moderate Republican, so he wouldn't be too over the
And
top.
that she
And it didn't work out that
part
way.
of the Kennedy clan.
Right. She
Right. And it didn't work out that way.
No.
He was doing all types of stuff. Yeah. And then, of course, as you already know, he was having an affair with the
Right.
maid.
Right.
He had a baby, had a love child.
And he had a love child. I remember that.
Yeah.
wasn't even an affair. It was just this sinister sort of, excuse my language, but pump and dump. It was just really disgusting. We just
Let me
used
tell
her
you-
like a living piece of furniture in that house. And
Right.
yeah,
Let me tell you something
just a
about
wild
Schwarzenegger
character.
that you may not be aware of. He used to wear this belt that I think was his great grandfather, because you know his family has history
Nazis.
with the Nazi movement, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger used to wear this skull belt buckle quite a bit, and come to find out that belt buckle, I guess he got from his family member. It's basically Nazi paraphernalia.
Wow.
Yeah, his name means something like Black Jew or something like that.
Right.
Schwarzenegger. Yeah, so it's got all
Yeah.
this weird nonsense to his name, and like his family's history in not Germany, in what's the other Germanic right next to it?
They're all Germanic tribes, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's not from Germany. He's from I keep thinking Norway for some fucking stupid reason. Now I gotta look it up.
As you look that up, I sit here. It's funny. You get Trump out of the office, right? And then automatically you look at the four biggest states. I mean, excuse me, four
Austria.
largest states.
Austria.
Austria. You look at Texas. You look at California. You look at New York. You look at Florida. And all four of those governors has done questionable things.
They've been around too long. They need to go.
Well,
That's what
I
the
mean,
drama is. They need to get. They need. I mean, come on. I mean, the idea is not that you sit in Congress and be a like a lord for like 12 years. You know. Yeah, they've just been there too long. I think that's a lot of what it is.
I think the problem with politics is money. Money is a big part of the problem because everything is driven by economics, and these politicians are driven by that because the corporations can give them big money, and they need that money, and therefore when they get into office, I said this to Lyons then when he was on before. If I give a politician $100 to support him, and a corporation writes him a check for $30 million, for example.
Yeah.
When he gets in office, who do you think he's gonna who phone call do you think he's gonna take? My $100 phone call or the $30 million phone call?
of course.
Exactly. And he's only got to answer one $30 million phone call. He's got to answer 4 million $100 phone calls. So
Right.
you know, he's only making one trip, and it's not to us.
Ain't
Right.
true.
And that $30 million phone, that $30 million person is a person that's gonna say, hey, you know, I gave you $30 million, so I need you to do A, B, and C
Right.
for me.
And I don't know why they want. I don't know why they want a union. You need to stop that out, because that's going to cause me a problem. And I don't know why
Right.
you want to have health care. I'm trying to get this dental money, and you better fucking fix that for me. And I don't know why you're doing X. You know? Yeah. Exactly.
Right. And then you wonder why we can't get complete free health care.
Right.
Right. Because let me be honest with you, the Obamacare is not a health care plan, it's an insurance plan.
Right.
It was a deal that was struck with the insurance
Yeah, Obama
companies.
was the worst.
That's all
Hey.
it really was.
True. You got Babe Blotter News is asking, are you in? I don't know if they meant to ask, are you in Queens or are you from Queens?
I am
So you
from Queens. I'm from Queens.
Queens.
At one point, we had we got Danny, we had Tony D, myself, and
Sorry about
True. It was total Queens up here.
What happens when you have half your art supplies in one room and the other half of the art supplies in another?
Oh my goodness. Greg Harris, this is for you, True. Greg Harris says Biden is a corporate Democrat which is the same as a Republican. I don't know if he meant to type corrupt or corporate.
Corporate Democrats are the same as Republicans?
That's what Greg Harris wrote. So I don't know if he was addressing that to you.
Okay, I'll buy that.
So he's buying that.
Corporatists are corporatists, and I don't think they have
I think I'll buy it too, Greg Harris. I'll buy it.
Yeah, I don't think they have any party affiliation. A corporatist is just a corporatist. There's no corporatist Democrat or corporatist Republican. They're just fucking corporatists. It's like oligarchs. There's no oligarch Democrat or oligarch Republican. They just want to rule this bitch with their
part of the reality is that in politics there is no permanent enemies, no permanent friends, just permanent interests. That's why you had 1 minute Mitch McConnell was against Donald Trump. Then when he realized that Donald Trump is not going to be impeached, I better change up my strategy here. That's what these politicians do.
Yep.
Hey, Babe Blotter News, we need to know a little bit more information. He says, I'm from San Francisco, but was raised in St. Albans, Jamaica, Queens. I bet you we know him. I bet you we know him.
Oh, St. Albans. Yeah, that's near Valley Stream.
Yes.
Babe Barton News. I'm gonna subscribe to your channel, Babe Barton News. I see your YouTube channel, so I'm gonna check it out. I just subscribed to you.
Babe
Blotter I'll be checking you out.
I mean, so info.
Yes, sir.
Man, so tell me this much, and I don't mean to put you on the spot, but you have two different channels. What's the difference in the two channels? YouTube channels.
Well, the first channel, I tend to do more like one-to-one interviews with guests. I bring in all different types of guests.
Okay.
And then when I do go, and then I go live on that channel more, where I'll talk about certain hot topics, like I did with the Nas X topic. Then on the second channel, that's my podcast channel. So I tend to upload pre-produced videos and talk about all different types of topics that are happening in the news, everything. So that's the difference. I just don't go live on that channel as much.
Okay.
I don't do guest interviews on there as much, what have you. So there's some contrasting differences. And then the traditional podcast that I also do, I put different topics on there too. So I keep myself pretty busy. Matter of fact, I've been behind on dropping a podcast on the traditional platforms. So I need to put something on there, but I try to mix it up, which keeps me pretty busy.
Gotcha.
And then on this channel, I specifically wanted to cover George Floyd situation, specifically on Haps TV. So I try to do a different type of content over here. So it's different stuff that people are getting.
Oh, okay.
Hey, big shout out to my man Bannerman.
Bannerman's coming through.
Bannerman, I think I want to say congratulations to you. I think I know you mentioned there was a baby on the way, and I'm not sure if you're a granddad or an uncle, but I'm going to go with a granddad. I hope I'm right, and I want to say congratulations. Much love to you, Rich. Thank you for all the support. You want to talk about a good person to follow, Info Man? Oh, great uncle. Okay.
Great uncle.
Yeah, Bannerman is a good person, solid person.
Great uncle, nice.
And he's a great follow too. And he's funny as hell. He's funny as hell too. Good sense
Oh,
of humor.
that's what I wanted to bring up to you guys' attention.
Yes.
Looks like what the Republicans have done in Georgia is what they're getting ready to do in Texas. Texas has a bill on the table to push forth the same thing where they want to make it where you can't vote early.
Right.
I can't believe in Georgia
Why
right
would you?
now they are making it illegal to give people food or water.
That's
Right.
And
outrageous.
that is crazy.
He said,
Just
I
the
think
most
also
crazy.
Mississippi, also Tennessee. My buddy Bucko Bruce said they're doing it in about 8 states right now.
Right. All Republican run states, right? All in
Yes.
the South, right?
Yes.
So what does
Hey.
that tell? What does that tell us? Does that tell us that if the vote? I know there's some people who don't believe that voting counts,
It
but
does.
if it wasn't that important as they say, then why are the Republicans working so hard to make it tough for you to be able to vote in a convenient manner? Why are they making it inconvenient? And they're specifically doing it in areas. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. It's the truth. They're doing it specifically in areas that they know have a large black population, because it was black people who put Joe Biden over the top to win this damn election. And I'm still waiting for his executive order to give us tangibles. Joe Biden, where are the black tangibles? I'm waiting for those black tangibles.
He's black girl magic in this bitch.
I'm just
And
saying that if you,
there's no magic
Right.
for black boys.
I know
Remember that.
when you look at the numbers and you see what put him over the top. And I know when he got into office, he gave executive orders to certain other groups. And I'm saying to myself, where's the tangibles, man? Hello, we're waiting. We're saying, wait a minute, we put you in office. 93% of African American women voted for you. I think 86% of black men voted for you. And when people thought we were going to all vote for Trump, and
you got the
I'm waiting. I'm going to hit the bell.
vice president. That's what you got.
Peace to Rob Allbanks. Thank you for coming
You
through.
got the first black president.
Appreciate you, man.
You got the first
That's
black
what you
president.
got. The first black president.
Is that what we got?
That's
what
what
we
you got.
got.
And
First black
African
president who
American
has no black
women.
people in her who has no black people in her family. You should remember that. I mean, this whole thing is just a shit show of a fuck storm. I don't even know what to make about it. Skip my language.
I know that a lot of black men were hurt in
Black men were
the Bay
hurt,
Area. What I'm
the
saying
Bay
is,
Area. Yeah, listen.
there were
You
a
gotta
lot
listen.
of there were
You got to listen to Inflaman on this one. This is a good one.
All right.
I know where he's going.
All right, sorry.
there were a lot of black men who could have been out of prison, out of jail, and Kamala Harris didn't do anything to save some of these black men that should have never been in prison. There was one brother that was on death row at San Quentin,
Right.
and her laboratory, which she was managing, didn't do a good job with evidence for over 300 to 400 cases in which black men could have been freed. There's also a story. If you go on what is that? There's a YouTube channel. There was a brother in San Francisco who did a cover story about how he got railroaded by Kamala Harris.
Wow.
So she hurt. There were a lot of black people that could have gotten out early that she purposely kept in because they needed them to work for when we have fires in California, there's a lot of inmates that are used.
They send up to the
right.
Wow.
So there were people that were purposely kept in the system to deal with the fires and all this sort of stuff that she could have let go out of the system. So that's why a lot of black men, particularly all around the country and in California, we have a different take on Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
And I think what happened is this. See, this is the thing with the Democrats do to black people. They know that black people are emotional people. We're emotional, we're spiritual. And when they picked her, she was nothing more than basically a symbol. And they know that black people will buy into symbolism. We suck it up. We love it. So when he gets into office and he says, I'm going to put a black man in charge of this or a black woman in charge of that, my question is, but okay, what is that black person going to do that will benefit us? Or is it just a symbolic symbol to make us shut up
Symbolic.
and be quiet.
Excuse
So
me.
those are the questions that I asked, gentlemen.
Excuse me. And you're right. I mean, they're more concerned with, hey, I have this brown face. And my whole thing is, I've met a lot of brown face, like white people before, who had no connection to the community, right? And that, that's fine if that's the life you live. But then
Right.
don't cruise back into the community for votes and all this other like weird interplay that's only ever seems to be a calculated exchange, right? And people are
Right. Uh-oh. Are you
won't
there?
fix that. You won't fix the bank. I can hear you. You won't fix that.
Tell the
You
truth.
won't fix the banks. You won't fix the prison system. I mean, I tell people all the time. They're talking about qualified immunity for cops. I'm like, you better talk about it for these prosecutors, these defense attorneys, and these judges too, because it's not just the cops, right? The judges are rubber stamping this thing. So if you're gonna fix it, fucking fix it. Don't tell me you're retraining cops because you can't retrain racism, and don't tell me that, oh, we need you to vote for us so we can really get it this time in Congress, because I've heard that before too,
Mhm.
right? So what do you have for me, Joe Biden? Because I'm already skeptical. I know your history.
Well, let me tell you something because I know this very well. What he did as far as the racial justice reform or the reform about prisons, most of our people are not in state prisons. The majority of us are in prison, that is, are in state prisons. So what he did was an okey doke. He sat up there and he couldn't even find the goddamn pens. They were on the desk right next to him. He's looking in his jacket. He's looking in his pants, and he's all like, oh, right there. And he's talking about this one I'm going to sign is going to do away our contract with private prisons, and state facilities are going to have to change their ways. And it's like, wait a minute, where is the,
Right.
what do you do? Why haven't you commuted sentences of people who are wrongfully in prison? Where is that at, Joe Biden? And where is the reform in state prisons where a lot of us are at?
Right.
There was nothing there. So to me, what he did was a nothing burger. Then
He's
when
a
he talked
politician.
about racial inequality towards the Pacific
Pretty
Islanders
far
and Asians, I
around
get
his
it.
Black people.
I get it. Okay, right now Asians are catching hell right now, but last
Yes,
time
they
I
are.
checked, black folks, we've been catching hell for how many years and decades and centuries now? Where's the goddamn plan? Now, no, don't get me
Right.
wrong. Okay. Okay, we got a black man who's in charge of the military. Okay, Joe Biden. We got a few sprinkle of some black folks in his administration that you hardly ever see working behind the scenes. You never really see them. Okay, Joe Biden. But then I'm looking for something else, something that says, let's get it to Main Street. Main Street. Okay, $1,400 checks, but that goes to everybody who's eligible, of course. But then I'm looking
Right.
for, where are the bills? Where are the executive orders that
Not
are
a
really
one.
needed to put a shot in the arm, symbolically, to the black community in this country? And so far, I've seen nothing. Now I know he's got a couple more years to go, so we'll have to wait and see. But black folks are always waiting and seeing. I'm sick of it.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true.
If he can't even have a plan, then he doesn't have a plan. So I'm not exactly surprised, and I'm also not heartbroken, but I just feel sort of smugly right.
Well, I
Well,
I can say this
We're gonna
much.
see.
True.
We're gonna
I mean, info. You don't know this, but True has been. Well, no, you do know this because that's when you joined our live stream when True has been bashing Joe Biden. He's been bashing Joe Biden
Bashing him with the truth. You make
for
it
as
sound like
long
insane,
as I can
running
remember.
around on his wife.
Yeah, because of that. I
hate
think
you
the
with your
crying
history.
bill is the
The crime
origins
bill.
of our discontent for the man.
Yep.
Right. and I'm not going to get over that. I'm not getting over that because it put a lot of people behind those bars,
Yes.
and it
Yeah, for
impacted
extended periods
people's
of
family
time.
members,
Their
uncles,
lives.
brothers,
People
fathers
who
could have
should have
been
got
affected.
10 years got 25. People who should have got
Yes.
25 got 8.
Right.
You
But
know,
but
people should
but
have been arrested
yeah.
this time. It was just
but
dark.
yeah. But true. And brother Ted, you should actually have a very high, strong kickback on Bill Clinton because it was Bill
Yes.
Clinton that signed the damn
He
bill.
signed it.
See, that's the thing
Yeah.
that kills me. I know we've been jumping on Joe Biden, but I noticed that there's not been a lot of smoke for Bill Clinton, who signed the goddamn bill. Y'all's first black president.
I've torched Bill Clinton several times on this show for multiple reasons. Seriously. And like the last session was Hillary Clinton running for president. You know, these people have histories. I don't see why anybody trusts them. I don't see why. I think people just get used to them being around, so they think that, oh, this is the devil I know.
True. You know as well as I know that people, it's just like with an ex-girlfriend or ex-wife. You rather deal with the devil that you know versus the devil that you don't know, right?
True.
I guess that's true.
I mean, think about it. Let's go with who I think was a great mayor personally, even though he had some problems. Mayor Barry, Marion Barry, right? People wonder, why did black people keep putting him back in the office despite whatever his demons were, right? It's because he did a lot for people. He helped people, family members get jobs and opportunities. And he was the devil that you knew. You knew what Marion Barry was about. You knew he liked to party.
Right.
You knew he had the drug substance problems, but you also knew he gave a damn about the community. So you were going to put him in the office over somebody that you didn't know what the hell he was going to do because he had a track record, right?
Right. Exactly. And it's not all so uncommon. I mean, they kept, union people kept putting, who's the guy that they killed?
What's that guy?
Right.
Italian guy. He was an Italian guy, right?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
He was in charge of the Teamsters.
Exactly.
Oh man,
So
it'll come to me. Jimmy Hoffa.
Hoffa, exactly. And people become, even when people are bad, people want to protect. He's our bad guy. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Weird as it is. And that's why I think a lot of things don't get done, because then those guys pick guys who like them and who are like them. And then you get the same, like, I guess, generational, it's not even disability, it's consistency, which is a problem. So, whew. Oh my God, it's 2:20 in the morning.
Oh my goodness. 11:20 p.m. in the West Coast.
Oh, okay, nice.
2 a.m. where you are, my God. Yeah, you in Queen. You back in New York, right?
No, I'm in Virginia.
Oh, that's right. You're in Virginia.
Yeah.
That's right. Right, Virginia, man. Interesting.
Yeah, nice and quiet.
Nice and
70
quiet out
degrees.
there.
Yeah, man. Whew. That's the when I left New York, two things shocked me about like living in Virginia. One was how much sky there was. It sounds ridiculous, but there's tall buildings all over New York. And like it just the sheer amount of freaking sky you can see to the horizon from every direction was like amazing to me. And I had a dog for like